Welcome back to Top 10 Tuesdays, everybody. Derek back, like I said I was going to be. And this week on Top 10 Tuesdays, we're doing full moon films. If you don't know what full moon is, it's the company started by Charles Band, after Empire films. And it pretty much, he just still makes the same kind of movies he did when he was in Empire. Not as good as it was when it first started, in my opinion, but there's still a few fun ones here and there. Slowly but surely, they pump out a few good ones. But I enjoy Full Moon. There's a few films that I don't own that I would have on this list, like Doll Man is one, and Demonic Toys, which is sad. Like I said, once you collect them, there's always all this new stuff coming out, and you just forget about those older titles that you never got a chance to pick up sometimes. But I'll be picking those up soon. You might see them in next month's update. But other than that, this list is of the ones I have, and I highly enjoy them. And maybe one or two, if I did have Dollman and Demonic Toys, would be pushed out. But other than that, this list is solid. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Let's do this. Number 10, we got Sorority Babes, the Slime Bowl-rama. It's kind of a weird story. It's not really, it's from '88. It's these sorority girls have these guys. They all break into a bowling alley and they wake up this ancient nymph. It's fun. It has a fun cast. Leanna Quigley, George Buck Flowers is in it too. He plays the janitor of the bowling alley. He's always funny. He's a character actor in all these horror movies from the '80s and Back to the Future. He's always in those '80s movies. He makes an appearance. They Live. Yeah, it's a fun one. It's not really it's kind of cheesy, but I still enjoy it enough because Leanna Quigley's kind of a badass in it. It's kind of a different role for her because she doesn't play that slutty chick that she usually played in movies from this era. But it's enjoyable enough. The nymph's cool looking if you see him in the back. There he is. The nymph. It's number 10. Number 9, the first in the Subspecies franchise. I just like this because it sets up this whole backstory of this character. When you first meet Radu and he kills his father, and his father's played by the tall man, Angus Scrimm, and just a awesome setting. The score when you first hear the Phantasm, not Phantasm, my bad. The Subspecies theme, just awesome. It's not my favorite in the Subspecies franchise, but it's still a good watch to set up the story. My favorite one's coming up, foreshadowing. But Subspecies is still a great film. Number 9. Number 8, Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak. This is actually probably one of the first full moon films I actually ever watched, to be honest, on my own. What a doozy, because there's one scene in particular, you're like, what the hell? Imagine watching this when you're 8. Yeah, it's fun. I love the setting in the castle, and Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, they're always good to watch. And this the Castle Freak himself, Giorgio, he's just very good makeup on him. Say that. Good film. Castle Freak at number 8. Number 7. This is a film that I just watched recently. I highly enjoyed it because it is a quick watch. It's kind of like a creature feature. It's called Shrieker. It The creature's just badass in it when you see him, because he has like two heads, and like you see in the cover, like and he just breaks through walls. It's a fun film. It's like, it runs over like 70 minutes, like a little under 70 minutes or over. It's a quick watch. I watch this all the time. So I want just to hang out, chill, watch a movie, just have one movie in the background. I put Shrieker on. It has the guy from Hatchet's in it, the Asian dude, Perry Shen. He's actually in this film. It's kind of funny because I didn't know he like did films before Hatchet, and it's kind of cool that he's in this because I'm like, oh crap, it's the guy from Hatchet. It's hilarious. It's a number. I can never count during these at all. That's a number 7. I'm gonna get better at counting. Number 6, the OG Puppet Master. Puppet Master is not my favorite in the franchise, but it sets up this whole mythology of the puppets. And it's still a fun film. It's just, it has a lot of like weird plot holes in it, in my opinion, but I still enjoy it. It's just, the puppets are all badass in it, and it's a good film. It's a number 6. I love Puppet Master. I could watch all of those all the time. Well, not all of the, well, some of the newer ones probably not, but I enjoyed like the original, like 5. I could watch 1 through 5, like, no problem. Number 5, we got Seed People. This was actually recommended to me by my buddy Matt, and I fell in love with it because I love creature features. He's a creature feature lover. It's just so like, awesome. Like these, they have like different, like one, like he said, probably if you watched his top 10, they just have different characteristics. They're not just like all the same like creature, which is, I thought was cool. And they all have different like strategies of attacking you, and I just enjoyed it. It's a fun film. The creatures look awesome, and it is cheesy because it's full moon, but it's awesome at the same time. I love this film. Number 5, Seed People. Number 4, Subspecies 3, Bloodlust. I enjoy this one the most out of all the Subspecies films because I just like the story of it. If you really want to, plus I actually like the girl who plays, what's her name in the film? Michelle, Denise Duff. I love her as Michelle better than the other girl. That's kind of, she actually made that character hers after the second one, which you have to really watch part 2 to follow part 3 because it's a back-to-back sequel, because stuff happens in part 2 that they do talk about in Bloodlust. And Bloodlust is still I mean, Bloodstone is a good movie also, but I just like how this one feels in the atmosphere. Radu, I like the way he looks in it, and his acting is really good in this one. It's because sometimes it's overplayed. You could tell he's overacting in some of the other films, but he does like a subtle performance in this one, and I really enjoyed that about it. So Bloodlust, Subspecies 3 at number 4. Number 3, it's another number 3, of course. That's Puppet Master 3, Tolan's Revenge. This is like the awesomest Puppet Master movie in my opinion. It's just, I love the setting in Nazi Germany and the Nazis as the bad guys and the puppets taking out the Nazis. I just love that setting. Richard Lynch is the head, like, Gestapo guy. He's always good as the villain, and The guy Rolfe, he actually was in Dolls. He was the older gentleman in Dolls. He's just great as Toulon in this. I just love everything about this movie. And I got Six Shooter, and he's just badass. Number 3, Puppet Master 3. Awesome film. Number 2, of course, we got Taurus Trap. This is a strange slasher. It's very strange. It has, like I said in if you see my update, because I have seen this before, even before my update, it has Chuck Connors in it. You know him. He's a big star in the early years of his career, the TV show The Rifleman, and he's just an awesome slasher. It should be seen. It's kind of, get the DVD. I do recommend you get the DVD because the Blu-ray is cut. I read articles on it. Even David Schumer said that the Blu-ray is cut. The guy who directed this movie. Highly recommend Taurus Trap. It's a fun slasher. Very strange. The mannequins, it's just, if you see the cover, there's mannequins in this, and it's just awesome. Number 2, Taurus Trap. And number 1, I think I said this in one of my videos before. Number 1, Head of the Family. They're like, what the fuck? I just really enjoy this film. It's a fun one. It's probably one of the first full moon films that I could still fully watch. Like, some of them I was throwing on as background, but this one, I just enthralled with the story because it's just a bizarre one. It's just, you got this giant head named Myron, and he's the head of the family. It's just funny. This movie's hilarious. Of course, it has Jacqueline Lavelle in it. She's wicked hot, and yeah, wicked hot. Oh, and it's just like a dark comedy. It has wicked dark comedy influences on it, and I just love this film. It's just so hilarious, but it tries to be serious at the same time. Head of the Family, directed by Charlie Band. I think it's actually one of his better directed films, and because it's just so much fun, and his style of dark comedy is just hilarious to me. So Head of the Family is number 1. I love it. Alright guys, that's my list of full moon films. I hope you enjoyed it. And see you next Tuesday. Peace out.